Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Barrack.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Just fine. And I'd like to say good morning
Okay.
to the listening audience as well.
Well, excellent. Welcome to the Street 919 FM. Welcome to the Titans of Democracy on mornings with Sharon and Bruce. And of course, Dominic on a Tuesday and Thursday. So you're here. We have internal elections. You're here?
Yes.
So you need to tell my listenership, who is Junior Barrack?
Yeah, Junior Barrack is an individual who focuses on development. My whole political career, and even before that as an activist, a basic activist, I have focused on the development of the people of African descent mainly, but I have worked with all persons in their development as well.
Excellent. But is that alone about Junior Barrack?
No, Junior
You must
Barrack.
tell the people, you're vying for political leadership, So you need to tell the people, who are you?
Well,
How, give us a little background because, I myself want to know who is Junior Barrack because, I want to know who is that. You are vying for political leader of an esteemed political party.
Yes.
So I myself want to know who is Junior Barrack. So give us a full detail.
All right.
My listenership, they real makushas, they want to know everything.
I will give them as much as I could. Right.
All right. So tell us.
I have been in business. Our company, Barrack Construction Limited, is a major company in Barbados. I'm a managing director as well as its I'm a managing director, and I manage the Trinidad arm of it. The Barbados arm of it I'm also a director of that, and I don't operate now because we have a conflict in the company, but yes, that company is there, Barrack Construction Limited. I have run my own company as well, Barrack Environmental Limited in Trinidad. I have been a senator. I have been personal assistant to Mr. Roger Boynes. I've been an advisor to Ronald Boynes. I have been as when he was in the regional corporation, of course. I have been in the PNM for 20 years. I have worked with the PNM with Ronald Boynes and Roger in Toko Mansanla for an additional 3 years as working with them on the ground before I actually joined the party. Now
when you say you're in the PNM for 20 years,
yes.
Were you a senator with the PNM, under the PNM?
No, I was a UNC senator.
I get frightened.
Yeah, but what I talk about with Boynes and others and so on is after I was a UNC senator.
Okay. Right.
Now, I grew up in Mover. I lived in Mover for a while, and I lived in Toko. Toko is the most glorious years I've ever had. Is my life in Toko. The sea, the sun, the fruits, you're running through the woods and forests and whatever it is. It was just brilliant. It was beautiful. Sea baths and mornings. And then I came back to Mover because my family, the Blakes and others is my family in Mover. So I came back to Mover, and when I came back to Mover, it was horrible. There it was, we had Mr. Burroughs operating, and youths were being killed, as they are killed right now, but mainly by the police then, they weren't killing themselves. And I became terrified. As a result of that, I decided that I must speak out. So at the age of 17, 18, I started going to Woodford Square and talking with people and so on, and expressing the kind of treatment that the young African people were experiencing. I came to the conclusion at the age of 17 that I will not live before 25. I will not go beyond 25. And that is in those days I'm talking about. The youth are traumatized. I realized that I had to stand up, and from that moment on, I have continued activities dealing with young people, African youths, and so on. And that is what prompted me to join the UNC, because I found that at that point in time, the PNM was not doing enough for us.
And like what year that was? Like
I joined the UNC. I did not actually join the party in that time, but when I was a senator, just a little before that, that is 1991.
Okay.
Right, I entered the UNC. 1990, and then after we went to 91, Mr. Pandey started putting me in the Senate during the NAR period as a senator, a temporary senator. And I went to Barbados. I was in the family business, and then I came back to Trinidad, and he immediately put me in the Senate about 1 month after I returned, and I remained in the Senate until the elections of 1995.
Excellent.
Then, right.
So,
go ahead.
Go ahead. This is your time, eh? So you go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you too much. I want you to tell the people about yourself.
I started lecturing in the University of the Woodford Square. Of course, the Gladiator was there. We formed organizations dealing with vendors in Port of Spain. We got an injunction against the Mayor Williams, for removing vendors. We had we had an organization there. We had also the Woodford Square Association, the University of Woodford Square Association, of which I was the general secretary. The Gladiator was the president. And I started advocating for different things. When Mr. Pandey put me in the Senate, I was put in charge of the East-West Corridor, and I mobilized the Baptists for public holidays. Archbishop Nichols allowed me to address the NESB. That was a momentous moment. It was incredible because people started crying, and then they started saying, "But Senator Barrack, you don't know what you're doing here. We will never be the same. Baptists can't be the same again." They came down to the Parliament, and they had their vigils inside the Parliament with their regalia for at least four sittings of the Senate. Right, I mobilized the Horatians, and I want to make mention of a particular individual, Archbishop Randu. Archbishop Randu came to the Public Holidays Committee and said that Mr. Manning promised the holiday to herself and Archbishop Burke. And when she said that, I picked up on that, and I moved towards making that a reality. And it was the committee, the Holidays Committee, decided that they will allow Mr. Manning to make the decision on the Baptist holiday. They went to him. He said he can't remember. Archbishop cried. Archbishop Randu cried in that meeting. Archbishop Douglas talked to him in that meeting because it took place at the Twin Towers. And it was another area where he said he can't remember. Archbishop Douglas warned him. This is a piece of history that you never heard before. Archbishop Douglas warned him. He told him that the Baptists have always voted for the PNM, and if he does not give them the holiday, they might not vote for him. He said, well, he will go home with his children and so on. And he said that, Archbishop Akairos Monday said, so be it. And everybody around the table said that in different versions. So be it. Let it be so as you say it, and do so. And he lost the election about 3 to 4 months after. And I want to say this, it's a piece of history that is really incredible. Working with the Boynes Indy, I came down to Balize House to drop off some documents. And when I reached in Balize House, Balize House had a shed to the back, and back of the car park. And Archbishop, and when I looked down in the back, the Archbishop Randu was actually anointing him, and he won back the election less than a year after. She took off whatever they put on him before. It's really incredible. And so I mobilized the Horatians. I went around the country with Archbishop Mejias and talked to the Horatia community and tell them, well, listen, if you do not vote, if you do not apply for a holiday, nobody will remember you because the Horatia religion was going down. It's going down. And I say, you apply for it. And they agreed on Shango Day, and they continue to work with Shango Day. I went all over. I met here Louisa Melvina Rodney, John Bull, everybody. Archbishop Mejias knew them, and he carried me, and they agreed. And they agreed on the name, they agreed on the date, and they got a festival date. But most importantly, the Orisha got their marriage act. Their marriage act. You could imagine that since slavery, it is in 1999 that the Orishas and they were officially allowed to marry in their religion without their children being called bastard and their marriages illegitimate. This is significant, right? And also, I'm just browsing through. Also, we had the situation of the removal of Emancipation Day as a public holiday. That is critical. The Archbishop of Port of Spain came to the committee and actually asked that the committee remove Emancipation Day as a public holiday. It was also on the agenda of the government at the time, and because Mr. Manning wanted the arrival day in lieu of ethnic holidays, so that everybody will arrive and so on, and he wanted arrival day. I asked the committee, where is the Emancipation Day? Everybody else come, Emancipation Day, Emancipation Support Committee. Everybody is coming to the committee, but we are not seeing the Emancipation Support Committee. And they told me that they did not know the address of the Emancipation Support Committee, which I thought was ludicrous. So I went over, I met with Soyinka. Soyinka was right in Chepstow House on the first floor. The opposition office was on the second floor, but the parliament did not know anything about that. Soyinka made arrangement and they were able to come. But more importantly, I don't play with that area. I met with Camborne and Andrew Springer and others in Diego Martin in Sarah Simon Street, and I gave them the documents necessary for them to defend themselves. They came and they called a press conference and they had all the evidence and they laid it out, and Mr. Manning backed up. Right? Then Camille Robinson Regis came to the Senate to make her address and threatened to bring me before the privileged committee. So she didn't do it, right? But she did threaten to do it. So I am saying that, so that is the kind of work I'm in. I've worked in squatter regularization from Diego Martin in the constituency of the Member of Parliament there, the Member of Parliament for Diego Martin West, who is Mr. Rowley. I cut the roads in Scorpion, and later it was paved and everything. I mobilized the people there. I took a tractor from Works, got a tractor from Works with my friends Woodley and Lynette, Charles, and we come down there. The people drop their monies and so on, and they buy the diesel and the grease for the tractor, and they cut the road. And I'm told by Lynette when I went down there, she died now, Lynette Lee. I was told by her when I made a visit there after some years. She told me the Prime Minister, he wasn't Prime Minister at the time, was actually using their road to go to his land which he bought in the back, up on the area, and that was horrible because he didn't put any money in that road. And at least he could have said thank you for building the road, because he was building steps. He wanted steps in the beginning. I say, how you can have steps there? You will never be able to build your houses in the back. Now, I also mobilized the people in Bagatelle. When Mr. Lass was breaking down their homes, we came around the park.
Mr. Barrack, let me stop you a little bit.
No problem.
You are vying to be the political leader of an institution called the People's National Movement.
Yes.
Right. I want you to tell me and the listening audience why we should vote for you as the political leader of the People's National Movement. And wait, before you do that, you know, in the PNM or in any organization, once you become the political leader, automatically you would think that is Prime Minister's position. So at this time, you have to be an elected member to become the Prime Minister, And that would not be able to happen at this time. So that means that you will just be the political leader. So I want you to tell the listening audience why we, the People's National Movement members, because I don't hide my affiliation, you know that. I am a PNM and I let everybody know that. Why we should vote for you.
I am also a PNM.
As the Prime Minister. No. I on the radio, I don't hide my affiliation.
I know.
I just tell people one time. So they know very well what they're talking to.
You don't have to repeat it to me. Are you a member of General Council?
I'm a member of General Council and Central X.
Right, and therefore I've seen you in General Council. We have greeted each other. We have greeted each other.
Right. No. This is for the listeners. This is for the listenership that I'm speaking to.
Yeah.
Who knows I don't hide my affiliation.
I don't hide my affiliation.
So when I say we, I'm putting myself into the whole mix. Good. So I want you to tell the listening audience why we have to vote for you must vote for you as the political leader at this time. You're vying for that.
I prefer why the PNM should make me the political leader of the party.
Right. Well,
I don't want you to treat me as an outsider, and the language is doing that. Now,
Mr. Barrack, wait. Mr. Barrack, hold on. Apparently, you don't listen to my program, and I am trying to make it clear to the listenership. This is a PNM thing going on here.
Precisely.
Right.
I'm a PNM.
So do not get my conversation wrong.
Well, then define yourself properly, because I don't want to be defined as an outsider. And if you wish, you can.
Nobody defined you as an outsider, Mr. Barrack.
The language is put in why we.
Mr. Barrack, you go ahead.
No. I'm just saying that I want to be treated.
Mr. Barrack, go ahead and answer the question. You go ahead.
Right. The reason why the PNM should make me the political leader is that I will look out for the PNM interests. Right now, the political leader of the PNM is not following the Constitution in the way in which he should carry it out. The General Council of the PNM is not participating fully in the policy-making decisions of the party. The executive and the leadership of the party, they have hijacked the party. The General Council...
Wait, Mr. Barrack.
Well, let me talk now.
Wait, no, I don't want to... Just now, I just want to ask you one question. How long are you a General Council member?
At least 4 years.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. And that is a question you could have asked me afterwards. You almost broke my train of thought. Yeah. So, and you did. Right. So let me recollect my thoughts. The political leader and the leadership of the party is hijacked. They have hijacked the party. No important policy measure is brought to the General Council. And if they did, the General Council will have the information on policy, whether it is policy on violence as a public health issue or any other policy matter. We hear about it in the media. It is not brought to the General Council. When government is making decisions, we hear about the Kamala knows it before us because the documents are circulated with them, and we do not know what is taking place in the party until it is announced. So I am saying that matter has to stop. The party, and you would know that, Sharon, the party is not allowing certain decisions to be made on policy in the party. And what is important about that is that the General Council is comprised of the roots of the party, the party groups, the constituency groups, and their members in General Council. When policy...
Mr. Barrack.
Yes.
Mr. Barrack, this time here that you have will be up in a short while, and I don't think this is enough time for us to have a discussion on what you're talking about. I'm a General Council member for a number of years. And I think you're not accurate in what you're saying here today.
No.
And I don't want us to go back and forth. I want you to come back another day.
Right.
Because I want us to have a discussion properly.
Yes, precisely.
Where we can have a dialogue, because
Right.
what I am hearing you say,
Yes.
it is not accurate.
Well, then you must state what is accurate. You're not
It
allowed to
is
say
not accurate. We don't,
Right.
but we don't have enough time for us
All
to
right.
go into
Good.
the whole issue.
Right.
It is not accurate.
Then state
Because
what is
like
accurate.
you don't understand that the Centralex is the highest order of the People's National
That is a
Movement.
fiction. What you're talking about is a fiction. The General Council in Article 12 of the Constitution make it absolutely clear that all matters related, and they just argued in court. That was just argued in court. That is just argued in court. The party leadership admitted from Mr. Martino that the General Council has the power.
When it was argued in the court.
That was just argued in the court. You didn't follow the court matter.
When the court matter has to start today, when was it argued?
No. The court matter started today. The decision is today.
Oh, okay.
All right. Right. The argument by Mr. Martino is that the General Council has the power, not the Central Executive. And it is the General...
Well, you see...
Yes, go ahead.
So how will the information come to the General Council if it's not discussed somewhere?
Yes, the Central Executive and the leadership can propose policy, but the General Council makes policy. No, you have to see it. You have to see it. You have to see the Article 13. No, Trinidad and Tobago. Article 13(1) absolutely clear the handle that matter.
Mr. Barrack, Bruce, how much time we have again?
We don't have any more time, honey. We're out of time.
Oh, Lord. Mr. Barrack, you have to come back. We have to finish this discussion.
All right, I'll be willing. I'll be waiting. I hope you keep your word.
No, I will, because anyhow, Trinidad and Tobago, you just heard Mr. Barrack, Mr. Junior Barrack was vying for political leader of the People's National Movement.
I am, not was.
Mr. Barrack, you know, I said who is vying for the political leader of the People's National Movement in the internal election. You're kind of, like you come this morning to drop, let me leave it there. Trinidad and Tobago will be back, Mr. Barrack.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Zoka Fever on the street 919 FM.
Okay, Rudolph, make her right. Then, hold on. Mrs. Claus sent a WhatsApp. The elves are hungry. Pick up a Royal Castle Queen bucket, a King bucket, some royal wings, a family meal, a few combos, some extra delicious coleslaw, crinkle-cut fries, potato salad, and a snack box for yourself. Oh, and don't forget that delicious honey mustard sauce. It's really lashing. Okay, Rudolph, let's get that delicious local Trini flavor. Royal Castle, here we come. Royal Castle is the local something that makes it all taste better.
My fellow members of the PNM, I am Junior Samuel Barrack, candidate for political leader of our beloved PNM. I am one of the most effective, successful, and fearless representatives of your interests in the history of this PNM in delivering to its base. I get things done. You are assured that I will put you first in everything that I do. As you are aware, I have been involved in improving the lives of thousands of families in unofficial settlements, commonly referred to as squatters. Our campaign depends on people like you. Every person matters. We invite you to support our campaign by donating to our First Citizens account number 181-7916, Junior Samuel Barrack. Your contribution can support ads like these and our campaign to spread our message. You can also support our campaign as a volunteer. Visit our Facebook page at Barrack PNM. Join us today. Step forward. Great is the PNM, and it shall prevail.
And that was a paid political announcement.
My fellow members of the PNM, I am Junior Samuel Barrack, candidate for political leader of our beloved PNM. I am one of the most effective, successful, and fearless representatives of your interests in the history of this PNM in delivering to its base. I get things done. You are assured that I will put you first in everything that I do. As you are aware, I have been involved in improving the lives of thousands of families in unofficial settlements, commonly referred to as squatters. Our campaign depends on people like you. Every person matters. We invite you to support our campaign by donating to our First Citizens account number 181-7916, Junior Samuel Barrack. Your contribution can support ads like these and our campaign to spread our message. You can also support our campaign as a volunteer. Visit our Facebook page at Barrack PNM. Join us today. Step forward. Great is the PNM, and it shall prevail.
And that was a paid political announcement.